Hey everybody, I'm just basking in my pre-emancipation Jamaican colors. Wishing everybody this pre-emancipation day. Beautiful people. So I saw a very disturbing video of a husband. It is said to be the husband of this woman, black people we're talking about. Apparently he came out of his wife's motor vehicle and forgot his phone. And when he realized that he had forgotten his phone, she locked the car door, saw the phone, and started to go through the phone. Maybe I'm not going to say she should not have, because sometimes men do things, and when the woman tries to confront them in a respectful manner, I notice I say sometimes not in a respectful manner, and she just gets fed up because she's seen things that disturbs her and she wants to find out the truth. She just says, but generally speaking, I'm not a supporter of searching people's things, searching their phones. But I'm not going to judge that situation. Every situation has to be rated on its merit or the lack thereof. So, he should just say, all right, it is what it is. He began to bust out the back glass. The back glass. As a matter of fact, I don't know if he was thinking of, when somebody took a picture, I don't know if it is the wife, took a picture of the the SUV type vehicle, you could see the scrape, like he was so incensed. He was so angered and frightened and fearful that he busted out the back glass, scrape up the car, damaged it, just to get the phone. It seemed like there was something he had to use, like, it looks like a wheelchair thingy, I don't know what it was. And I'm saying to myself, this man has got to have some serious psychological and mental issues, because whatever it is that he's hiding, it has already come out. She would have come across something already. She could have driven off the car now. It's just that she would have been charged if he got hurt. That's what he could have provoked her to that, And she said, I'm going to record you. Like, really? This is how you're behaving? And by behaving that way, it obviously sends her antennas way, way, way up. So that relationship, if it even continues, it will never be the same. What bothers me a little bit is that when I read the comments, there is something wrong with the minds of our people. Not everything has to be homosexually related. It doesn't mean that the man is living that kind of a lifestyle, people. Let us go down the area of infidelity. It could mean that he is doing it with a female family member or a female great friend of hers. Some people say he does it with the boys or children. Not necessarily. Why is it, that about 3 years ago, the World Health Organization, WHO, had done, they had showed the census of the world's people, the number of people, where people fall. It said 3% of the people fell in that. And when it said 3%, it meant the people who are trans, bi, that way fully, and so on. Let us say they didn't get everybody. You can put it up to 4%, 5 even. It's a small percentage in comparison to the rest of the people who are living a heterosexual life. Stop it. It doesn't mean that. I heard somebody say that she doesn't feel it is cheating. It could be something illegal, and I'm with her on that. I am with her on that. Because, yes, how do I put it? Cheating is not something that is like tabooed or something that is uncommon. It is something that goes on and on from the beginning of time until now. So it is not something that, we're so surprised a husband cheats. Come on. That's like a common assault. And even if it is on the down low. When that song Down Low was sung years ago by R. Kelly, the very talented R. Kelly, great musician, great writer, and a range of songs. It was a heterosexual situation when he mentioned down low. When he said, keep it on the down low, down low. It was not in terms of a gay thing going. No, it wasn't. It was a heterosexual. I don't know how it just changed into that all of a sudden. But every little thing, although, maybe because it started, that also is not a good thing. So it just metamorphosized into something even worse. When that song was sung, I remember it. People, it doesn't mean that the man has to be homosexual. It doesn't mean that, or a pedophile. It doesn't mean that. It could be even, let's just say, as again, it could be he was cheating with a family member. It could be that he was cheating with a friend, a good friend, or simply if he is cheating, he just simply didn't want her to find out any at all, because maybe, you know, he professed himself to be a very faithful and committed husband, and it really would look bad, and he just lost it. But when I heard a friend of mine said it could be something illegal on the basis of what do I say, of things that have happened in the past that are factual, on the basis of using the laws of induction and deduction, meaning you amass all the facts, all the observations, and your intuition or discernment, and you pull them together, and you use the laws of elimination. You say, okay, it could be something illegal. Now that would cause a man to say, all right, I have to bust. If she ever finds out that I'm a mercenary, you know, God forbid, or I rob people, or I do this to people in an, you know, some illegal act, that would be frightening and devastating. People, stop accusing people of being homosexual. It's not right. If something is an anomaly, the first thing we run to, it must mean that he's that or she's that. Why is it that we're thinking like that? Maybe a lot of people, they're probably struggling with their own sexuality, thinking that everybody has the same problem, when they don't necessarily have the same problem. It's really exhausting. But now that I've rambled along with that, let me tell you, that husband is an extremely foolish man. Very, very foolish. He made it 20 times, 100 times worse. And that relationship will never be the same again. Even if by some means she stays, because she can stay, you know, it will never, ever be the same again. Now, I consider that man extremely dangerous, because it tells me that when you are pushed, you will do crazy things. You should see the condition of the motor vehicle. He behaved like, you know, when a woman says she's going to, you know, I mean, somebody says they're going to leave you or they're going to destroy your life completely, and you get so angered and incensed and out of character. I mean, you're enraged. I shouldn't even say out of character, but you get so enraged and uncontrollable. Damaged the car badly. It was not just the glass, because somebody took a picture of the entire went through where the tires. I said, what? Now let us say the wife had done something to him that he considers really bad, or what he may say unforgivable, or, you know, the terminologies that they tend to use in the absolute. What would he have done to her? What would he have done to her? And don't bother say that he would not. Of course, that level of anger, and he was so determined. She's already going through the phone. She's already going through the phone. The relationship is already stained and tarnished and singed. That's a dreadful situation. And it goes to show, let me tell you something, people. You see, I heard a man say a man won't marry unless he wants to. And that is also true. But it's not necessarily on the basis of love, you know. I remember a psychologist said that you have men who will marry not necessarily for love. They don't have to necessarily love that woman. They can love a particular woman and not marry that woman, and love one that they don't love, marry one that they don't love, for many reasons. They know that they can get away with doing all sorts of things, especially if they know the woman is foolish. She doesn't have a strong, her EQ is very weak, meaning her emotional intelligence, or her intelligence is very low. He knows he can manipulate her. He can just have her like a string, he's a puppeteer and she's a puppet. And he can get to do his deeds and bidding, because I said men are better pretenders than women because of the side of the brain that they use. Women are too emotional. So it's harder for them. They're too emotional, so they will get irate and show their emotions. Men are good at masking it, so they are better pretenders. And a lot of people, ladies, you need to have discernment. You need to ask God to help you to have strong self-esteem, that you're not easily tricked and duped into some of these so-called marriages. Many of them are probably not ordained by God, because the devil will put people for you to marry. Please know that he's a counterfeiter. Sad. That's so sad. That's a dangerous man. May God help that wife and children, if they have children. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of those lions. Thanks.